What is up, y'all? I am Ant, and this is a cool situation today. You are not seeing double, well, triple. This is all real. We have two guests today for our recap of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. We'll start with our old guests first. We're kind of, well, you know what? Yeah, we're old. I'm old. Carlos, introduce yourself.
Carlos Caribbean Cool in the house.
In his house. And for those of you who are happy, obviously, to have you, Carlos, and our other guest is, on with me frequently. You've seen him on our Attitude Years. You've seen him recently on Monday Night Raw. He's joining us again. He does other shows as well. We'll talk about that later. Introduce yourself, my friend.
It's Tyler Peters, and I'm just happy to be here. It's going to be fun to join you gentlemen and have a SmackDown review.
Smack it down in the middle.
Yeah, we're going to lay this SmackDown. I'm here at the arena, and they're still giving tickets
and I
away.
still have fucking Raw as I'm doing this recording. And
we're actually
that now.
No, we're doing a draft episode after this.
It's a draft.
So what's your pick? Which superstar?
Well, we are the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast. That's what you get when you get us. That's what you get, so don't get upset.
Yeah, it gets uncensored quick.
It sure does. So SmackDown is live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
They've been in Canada a lot lately, honestly.
They love sure Canada.
Have. And I noticed we got a SmackDown opener for the first time in a while. So that was cool to kind of see them, making importance.
Very cool.
Like they did like a opening, like a video package.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They did a video package and they featured a lot of the wrestlers that are on SmackDown now.
They've been for Raw almost every week.
Yeah, that's why I took notice of this. I was like, okay, cool. So they're starting the trend. Fun fact, we are recording this on a Tuesday, and NXT is supposed to have a whole new stage set tonight. So
nice. Hey, I look forward to seeing
I heard
what that's
a
about.
lot of SmackDown superstars are going to be on.
Ooh, interesting. I'm going to have to
Brawling Brutes
that later or something.
So our source, Carlos.
Carlos is the source. So this is a very quick opening. We just want to say hi, let you know who we are, and just know that stay tuned. This is our first commercial break. We are going to come right back, and we are going to cover all things Friday Night SmackDown. It was a hectic show on the road to Extreme Rules. I'm Ant. We got Carlos Caribbean Cool and Tyler Peters in the house. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, y'all. Yeah, we are still here, and we are still Ant, Tyler, and Carlos. The reason why you don't see Carlos is because Carlos is probably one of the most attractive dudes, more attractive than Tyler and myself, and we know the ladies here would be totally distracted by it. If
I'm jealous in a good way. I mean,
so
I wish I had.
We couldn't allow him to do that, so Carlos will be not on camera, but you know what, ladies, all I can say is just imagine. That's all I can say. Just think.
Just go back and dream. Have
just
a
go
fantasy.
back and dream and think about it. Oh my God. And think about what
oh my God.
Looks like. Look, he's probably blushing too.
Hello,
like, oh my God, I'm a sexy motherfucker.
Shut up.
And he got the hoteria. All right, okay. So does Dom.
He's a big fan. Yeah, so does Dominic.
Yep. So if you are listening to us, you are a wrestling fan and you are a fan of WWE and especially Friday Night SmackDown. And we are live on September 30th, 2022 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And the first match to kick off SmackDown is Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa. You kept calling him. What was it that you were calling him?
I think I was calling him atop a tree or something.
Yeah, Sikoa.
Yeah, or something. It was a different language.
Solo Sikoa. Sikoa and Sami Zayn.
Something like that. Oh my
versus Ricochet and Madcap Moss. Interesting tag team. Obviously, they were attacked by Sami. Well, actually by Solo Sikoa last week on SmackDown, and that's why Ricochet and Madcap Moss are teaming up against these two. So let's get into some detail about the match.
All right.
Solo nails a Samoan drop to Ricochet and gets a 2 count. Ricochet nails a missile drop kick to Solo. Madcap Moss then nails a fallaway slam to Sami and then nails running shoulder tackles in the corner. Sami is able to hit Moss with the Blue Thunder bomb, and that gets a 2. Moss hit Sami with a jackhammer, and I was like, Goldberg. But Solo breaks it up. And the ending comes after Ricochet dives to the outside, but Solo tosses a chair into the face of Ricochet and then sends him over the Timeskeeper area. And then Solo nails a spin kick and the spinning Solo to Moss to get 3-count victory. And then after the match, Solo beats up Madcap Moss. And then he nails 2 running hip attacks to Moss. So let's start with our new guest, Tyler. What did you think about Solo and Sami? You know, right now it seems like Solo is trusting more of Sami than his own brother, which is kind of weird.
Right.
But their team, they defeated these 2 guys. What did you think?
I think it was a good match. I like Madcap Moss a lot. His potential just keeps growing. I mean, you can see he's a star with that physique, and he's got actual talent too to back it up. And I like Solo and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is very entertaining. We talked about that on the Raw recap, and I'm sure you and Carlos have mentioned it on numerous occasions, just how great he is. So I really like this match. It delivered. I like this tag team of Solo and Sami Zayn against Ricochet and Madcap Moss. Got to mention Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet was probably one of the MVPs of that match for sure. Exciting action. Thank you, Tyler. Carlos,
you're welcome.
Carlos Caribbean Cool, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I thought you didn't say, oh, what are your thoughts?
I think
I was waiting for you.
I think I was rude. You'll have to forgive me, Carlos. It was my fault.
His fucking fault. Blame that fucker to the left. Go ahead, Carlos. What are your thoughts?
The match was good. I agree with you about Madcap Moss. But I don't. Maybe they just don't know like really what to do with him. But I feel like he's just floating around right now. He doesn't really he's not really in anything. But I feel like he's definitely the future. He's a young stud. He has a great physique. Also, and then Sami and Solo though. They're a great team, but I feel like they're both so good that they should be like single stars, honestly. Like they should I don't think like they should be like involved in something so big as like the bloodline. I feel like Solo and Sami could literally run the whole industry, honestly. Because they're so good.
Do you think that they should continue being a pair, or do you think that
I think they should go off on their own.
Okay.
Like maybe if they continue to bloodline, like Sami goes for the Intercontinental, Solo goes for the US title or something else. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean they could, but they're not split up yet because they're walking backstage, they being Sami and Solo, and Jey Uso is in the locker room, and he basically lets Solo in the room and he closes the door, and Jey tells Sami that he sees right through him. If you think of putting my family in jeopardy, you'll deal with me. And then Sami's
Jey is so intense, like all the time. Like he's always like on cue, like
he's always
he is.
He's ready.
But I feel like Solo honestly has more talent than both Usos combined. Not even lying. I'm being so serious right now. Solo has like more talent than both of them at the same. Because like all the Usos says is y'all the twos and we the ones, or a super kick splash. But like Solo has like it's like so crazy because he has like so much experience in like the indie scene. I like totally forgot that he was in the indies for so long. So it's like I feel like that the indies really helped him out like to build himself like more like I feel like he's above the Usos, honestly. He's above all this, honestly.
He also doesn't have any DUIs.
Wow. I did not know Ant was going to go that direction.
I'm not going to waste my energy right now. All right. I'm not going to.
You got Carlos mad. He is very disappointed.
Well, he's kind of like Jey right now because Jay's pissed that Sami had the balls to say that to him. So Sami's like, you know what? If you're upset, why don't you take it up with Roman? Now I want to go into our locker room. So,
one thing, why are you so concerned about DUIs? You keep bringing this up like this a year ago. What are you?
Because next year, in 3 months, we're gonna hear another story, and then we're gonna be talking about the same thing.
I think Jimmy learned his lesson. Come on.
I hope.
Yeah, we're all.
Did Jeff Hardy ever learn his lesson? No, and you're not talking about Jeff Hardy
because Jeff Hardy isn't on SmackDown on September 30th, 2022.
Yeah, he's not on the main roster.
No, but how many times has this happened to him until he finally fucking took some initiative to go get some fucking help?
But also, Jeff Hardy wasn't champion during that time. He was just sort of just like because of his own issues, couldn't handle being champion. Now, Jay and Jimmy seem more so Jimmy. Jimmy seems like a functional alcoholic.
Jimmy wasn't champion yet when that happened.
But he ended up becoming champion. He's been champion for over 300 and something days, right? That's a little
good debate.
That's a really good, a good.
I think we need to do a whole video on this. Honestly, I would love to get you done.
I think you guys need to do it because it would be must see TV.
I would love. We need to do debates on it. We disagree on a lot of things. Like my first one we need to do about Edge because I can't stand him. You Edge is your favorite, so
blasphemy.
Like all three, like we need to do a debate on it. So I would love to. I'll take notes and everything. I'll take notes and everything.
I just think my thing with Jimmy and Jay is that Jimmy is a functioning alcoholic. He's able to go to work, drink, get in a car, drive. Sometimes he's up with you. It's caught up with him like 5 times.
Can we save this for another video, please?
Oh, sure. So,
one. But this is like way off topic, but like I'll give you like a good topic to do a debate about Hulk Hogan. If anyone under the age of 35 doesn't give a shit about Hulk Hogan, anyone could have put on yellow trunks and came up put their hands to the ear. I feel like he was dog shit in the ring.
True. But there was only one person who did it.
No, whoa. Let me stop you there. No,
Hulk Hogan was dog shit in the ring. Leg drop. Come on.
No. Wait a minute. You're not getting off that quick. Wait a minute. I mean, Hulk Hogan may not have been you may not think he's a great worker, but he worked his style.
For his time, but he also had Shawn Michaels' job to him, and I don't feel like Shawn Michaels should have lost to Hulk Hogan at that match that they did have. Because, I don't know, Hulk Hogan...
Yeah, but take that up with Vince, right?
Yeah, take it up with McMahon, and here's the deal. I like Shawn Michaels, too, and I'm not always defending Hulk Hogan. I get he wasn't the best worker. I think he's acknowledged that. Speaking of, the Roman Reigns, acknowledge me business. But to say that Hulk Hogan, anybody could put on his trunks and do the ear thing... that's where I got to call you out. I mean, I like you, Carlos, but out of respect, I'm not doing this to be mean. But you had to kind of understand that era. I'm not always saying Hulk Hogan's matches were great, but he did have some good ones in his era, and you got to think about
when he joined NWO, that was probably like his best stuff.
Yeah, it's one of the best, but let's not forget Hulkamania. Let's not forget some of the other territory stuff, like in Japan. So
also too,
I guess that was just like different times. Like
that's
now,
exactly what I mean. Like
for that time, it worked.
That's the thing. That's how you have to look at it. Like when you look at
that's why I say like people under the age of 30 years old don't really give a shit about Hulk Hogan.
Well, I think because it would be like because they didn't understand how small WWE was,
they didn't get it.
But he did make a lot of money for the company. That's one thing. He did make a lot of.
Deny it.
He helped them out a lot. But like I feel like John Cena did a little bit more for the company than he did.
Well, they each he's a generational guy. He's like a Hulk Hogan, a generational guy.
A lot of people compare John Cena to Hulk Hogan. Like they say, he just moved his hand from his ear to cover his face. That you can't see me, but like John Cena, like you didn't see Hulk Hogan making over 500 Make-A-Wish Foundation things.
Because they didn't have it back then.
They didn't have it back then. See, that's the thing. I get your argument, but you have to go back to Ant's point and look back at the era. That's what I guess
different
drives
times.
Me a little bit crazy. Yeah,
that was like the 80s and 90s. I respect Hulk Hogan for what he's done for the company.
It's almost like think of it like it's close, like watching like a fucking like Star Wars movie, right? When we watched the original Star Wars from the 70s, we're like, okay, it's cool. To them, they were blown away. They're like, "Oh my God, did you see that big ship?" Like, you have to look at it as like, to them, this stuff that we see as super mediocre, they had never seen before. They're entrenched in it. They didn't have the internet, so there were bigger attractions because you didn't see them often. Whereas now it's different. Whereas they want you to see them more. That's how you get more money.
Correct.
I've
And
never,
nobody,
I've never
yeah.
really seen anything during that time, so I don't really know. But in my opinion, I don't know. He
Yeah,
wasn't really
he's
the
not.
greatest.
Listen, he's not one of my favorites either. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I go to like look at like the
Like
best
if I
wrestling in the
choose anyone
matches.
that I think was the best during that time, my favorite during that time was Roddy Piper. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm a
100%.
big Piper
My
fan.
number one favorite, Roddy Piper during that time.
And I'm with you. Now, I agree with it. Much like Ant said, he's not the greatest worker in the ring. I mean, definitely Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. I'm also big supporters of those guys. But I think it's just great dialogue. I love how we're all passionate about our
And then
opinions.
like a guy like John Cena, like he would always add moves to like. I mean, he didn't always add moves to this thing, but like you would see him some every once in a while like a flying dive off the top rope, or like he'll like during his match with AJ Styles, he added like a couple moves to his move set. But like Hulk Hogan, I don't know. Like I mean, it was different times, like I said.
Yeah.
But
Well, also you didn't really have to. We live in a time period now where it's like, what have you done for me lately? Like you're gonna want to keep impressing. Go
Well,
ahead, Kyle.
I think the thing is too. We have to realize, gentlemen, is Hulk Hogan didn't need to do all that.
Yeah.
I think there's guys. To your point, AJ Styles can do more. I mean, that's obvious, and it is different times.
AJ Styles like put John Cena to his limits, like
Yeah,
to do
it's
stuff.
different generations, and that's why a lot of the old schoolers didn't have to work as much to tell a story. It just depended. So, I mean, we could move on from it, but I'm enjoying the conversation because
Yeah.
this is cool to kind of bring this up.
And I agree with both of you guys because again, like to Carlos's point, like when I go back to the WrestleMania best matches, I don't really look forward to watching Hogan, but there are some
video, especially on this, like one day, like especially just on this topic. So like we all can get like
Hogan.
We have a lot more, but I know we're doing like SmackDown right now, but
We'll talk. We'll make plans. We'll make plans. So let's move on to SmackDown. We get a promo from Karrion Kross, which I thought was very cool. And he talks about Drew McIntyre, and he says, "You've been on top of the industry for a long time, and at Extreme Rules, I'm gonna take you to the point of no return. Once I finish you and show the world what is in the cards, I will be the undisputed champion. I will drag you to the deepest part of hell and leave you there to burn forever. TikTok." Now, here is something that I thought of that was interesting. The only thing that really stuck out to me is when he says, once I show the world what is in these cards. What is in these cards, Cross? Is it you and Wyatt working together? Is it, you doing your own thing? What is in those cards? And I like Cross because he's creepy. He leaves you guessing. I'll throw it to Carlos because I threw it to Tyler first last. Carlos, what are your thoughts on Karrion Kross? I mean, this is a good promo to get us hyped up for their strap match, but what do you think?
Karrion Kross is great. I love how he's finally getting what like his good push that he deserves. Like I feel like people just are like staying in like what Vince McMahon introduced him as, like when he first came in. But I'm glad that he's finally getting what I love his promos. His promos are great, especially having Scarlett by his side. But yeah, about the cards thing, I don't know. Maybe he might be changing something up. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. Maybe he has Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt coming in helping him, or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like everything will come to a close at Extreme Rules. Though. We'll like know what's going on with everything.
How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, and there was a QR code with the segment, by the way, too.
What did you get a chance to see it, or because I didn't see it?
So yeah, basically it was let me remember because I know I saw it, but it was
what was the gist of it, if you can remember?
The QR code?
Yeah, was there anything like that you think was important? Anything that we need to talk about, or it was just another sort of trivial thing?
From SmackDown, the QR code. The QR code was what was it? Oh, it was the 1911 thing. So like when we remember, like it said like 1911 or something, and then like I looked up 1911, and then it was I looked up like Bray Wyatt 1911, and then like apparently he did a Firefly Funhouse match, like where Firefly Funhouse segment where he had like a top hat, and then he had like 1911 like stuck to his hat, like the letters 1911 on his like on a paper like on his hat, and and also they also showed something. It was something I had to like dig into, but it said like season 10 something, and it was like what it said. I forgot what the number said, but it was like a link, and it led me to and then I figured out it was from a Simpsons episode, season 10 of when they played the White Rabbit on the episode, like the White Rabbit song, like during the scene or in the Simpsons. That's another thing that it led me to.
So I have a question. I'm going to throw this to Tyler, and Tyler, I'm going to ask you this question, and Carlos, if you want to join in later.
All right.
So do you think these QR codes are just random? Like, okay, we're Karrion Kross on TV, we're going to throw it. Or are we supposed to speculate that, and we'll talk about Raw when we cover Raw, certain people are getting these QR codes. Is that on purpose? Or do you think WWE is just trying to throw us all off and you just throw in random things? I mean, because they're coming in for Cross, they're coming in for Alexa Bliss, they're coming in for, is that on purpose? Or is it, what do you think?
I think WWE is trying to keep us guessing. It's to throw us off. I think that's a good observation, because I think we're better fans if we are trying to speculate, because it gets
or
the
try to figure these things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think we have to. I think that's a good question. Whether it's Bliss, whether Karrion Kross and Scarlett are working with Bray Wyatt, whether it's even Bray Wyatt. I mean, as much as we hope it is, it could be somebody. Yeah, Triple H has already kind of put the tease out there. So
Dustin Rhodes.
Hey, it could be Dustin Rhodes. Hey, AEW, who knows? But seriously, I love the estimating and who. That's the big question within the question. I think is what I'm getting at. It's all very intriguing. I like it.
Cool. And what do you think about Cross? Are you excited for his match with McIntyre?
I'm excited. I am a big fan of Karrion Kross. I'm glad he's back. I do like his character. Like you said, it's very kind of out there and bizarre in a good way. And his work is good. I really like how I think he does a lot more of a stiffer style. And Scarlett, that whole presentation, she's great, distracting.
The smoke show.
Oh, she is the smoke show, no doubt about it. With all due respect,
I really wish she would wrestle. I really wish she would wrestle though.
Yeah, she's very capable. Yeah, I think so too, Carlos. I think we'll get that eventually. But yeah. I think the promos are good.
Yeah, Scarlett.
Apparently, I read that she's a very, very good wrestler. Like she knows her shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what Scarlett knows. The White or Witch, maybe she might be.
Could be.
Okay, so we then see Austin Theory get interviewed, and Austin Theory says Drew McIntyre embarrassed himself at Clash at the Castle. And as Austin Theory's talking his shit, Drew McIntyre shows up behind him, puts his hand on his shoulder, and he challenges Austin Theory to a match right now. So we go to commercial. When we come back, Austin Theory with the Alpha Academy taking on Drew McIntyre. Here are some notes from this match. Drew nails a vertical suplex. Austin Theory drops Drew McIntyre's neck across the ropes, and then Theory nails a drop kick. Drew nails a future shock DDT, and then all hell breaks loose because Otis attacks Drew McIntyre, sending him into the ring steps. All three men attack Drew until Johnny Gargano runs out, and they attack Gargano. And then Kevin Owens runs down and evens the odds, and they send Austin Theory and Alpha Academy to the outside. So Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano making the save. This is a pretty short match. We kind of, as wrestling fans, know what to expect. It's going to be turned into something else. But I'll throw it to Tyler. What do you think about? It seems like Alpha Academy is getting pushed pretty heavily. They're being involved in a lot of storylines. You can talk about the match a little bit, but what did you think about sort of the aftermath? Are you happy to see Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano getting involved on SmackDown and, going after Theory and Alpha Academy?
I don't have a problem with them getting involved. Speaking of Gargano and Owens with Drew McIntyre against Alpha Academy and Austin Theory, let's face it, as much as we want to think, hey, these are separate brands, I think they have to do it now because nobody really buys the draft. That's why, even though it's a neat concept, that's what makes me think about a draft in the sports sense as well. I am fully supportive of all these rivalries continuing over to SmackDown because I think it only helps the show. I think sometimes these shows just need it, and the networks need the stars. So you have to look at it from that standpoint as well. So I'm all for it. I think it was good. I like how these teams work together, the chemistry, and it was for what it was, just to build it later on in the show, like you said.
Yeah. How about you, Carlos? What do you think?
I thought the match was good. I was excited to see like Raw stars go over to SmackDown. Like it's always good to see that. It just cracks me up how Austin Theory always seems to get himself in some deep shit. Whenever like he opens his mouth, he always like something always happens to him. And once the match was good. One thing that I learned on SmackDown was that apparently Johnny Gargano and Drew McIntyre were like tag team champions in the Indies. I did not know that. Michael Cole brought that up. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had history together in the past. Apparently, it was like very long ago, like before I think like when Drew McIntyre got released and then like he was doing something in the Indies. But apparently, they were tag team champions. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but I know that they both was it in Evolve or
I think it was Evolve,
Yeah.
but I'm with you, gentlemen. I did not realize it either that they were
Cool.
a tag team.
cool, interesting tag team. The size difference and the style of wrestling is different, but you know when people are different, it kind of ends up being cool. So
Yeah,
kind of like Carlos Caribbean cool. We then see Maxine backstage with the Maximum Male Models, and they are planning to break the Canadian pose record. And they start, and Hit Row starts laughing at them, and Max Dupree just like leaves, shaking his head, like what's happening here. We'll talk more about them later on because we see them later on in the show. We then get our next match, Hit Row with B-Fab taking on Los Lotharios. Here are some notes from this match. Ashanti Adonis nails a neck breaker to Angel Garza. Top Dollar with a running knee to Humberto Carrillo. Was that cool, guys? You like that?
Yeah, but I like the accent.
That
Very
little
very
white
romantic,
trying to be Hispanic. Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, Los Lotharios.
Top Dollar nails an elbow
I'm kind
drop.
of mad they stopped the kiss cam. Like that was a pretty cool thing.
Oh, when they were doing the kiss cam, right? They were kissing the people. Yep.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
like
it was
during
neat.
during Vince's time though.
Well, of course. So the end comes after Hit Row nails a heavy hit to Carrillo. And
God, I can't believe.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we think anything different? Do we think Los Lotharios are really going to get the win over Hit Row right now? Probably not. But
No.
Carlos, what'd you think? Are you happy with Hit Row?
Yeah, I always liked them.
Getting payback.
I feel like they just need to build their way up to like maybe tag team title defend contendership because I know right now they just came back. You know, they really haven't done anything like special. Like I mean, they're impressive, but like I feel like Top Dollar is definitely like a future star on his own. Like the way that he can like picks up two guys at once and can carry them. Like he says, who's hotter than Top Dollar? Nada.
Yeah, he's a powerful.
He's definitely the future, though. I think.
And we do got to remember, guys, like that these aren't 10-pound people. These are 6 feet tall, 250 plus pounds that they're catching midair.
Huge people.
Boom, you know. So yes, I agree with you, Carlos. How about you, Tyler? What did you think?
Yeah, I like Hit Row. I just like the vibe with the music. You know, it's very entertaining. But like Carlos stated, you know, they're all very talented. I actually like Ashante personally. I mean, I like the big guy, Top Dollar, but I don't have a problem. Los Lotharios, I just want to see them be more aggressive, more serious. I think we're kind of getting over the whole Romeo thing. We get it with their good looks. I want to see them move forward, and I think this is a way to do it. Get them out of this whole kiss, like you guys were saying.
If they're gonna do Los Lotharios, they have to give them more character time to do it. Like it's just like it doesn't work if they're just like I know Carlos, you liked it, but like for like me, I like the kiss cam, but there has to be a little bit more character development. Like
I feel like Humberto was maybe going somewhere when he was doing that thing with Seth Rollins.
yeah.
In the Performance Center. I think he was going somewhere, but like they just like because he would help out Rey Mysterio every once in a while. Like he would because Seth Rollins was like maybe going after Rey Mysterio. But, like he would be Aleister Black and Humberto, but like he would help out. They were going somewhere, but then like they kind of just like I guess forgot. I'm not forgot, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just didn't see
They
anything.
should send those guys back down to NXT. Not like saying that they don't deserve to be on the main roster, but I mean, if they're going to talk about NXT as much as they do, I would tune in to see Los Lotharios try to go after the NXT tag titles. There's something about former people coming back that's interesting. I mean, I wasn't really like tuned into this one, but when Tyler Breeze came back to challenge Velveteen Dream, this past couple of weeks ago when they were trying to promote Worlds Collide and all the former NXT people showed up, there's something
Or when,
about
like
having people come back.
Nikki Ash and Doudrop came back to NXT, like
Mhm.
challenged the titles, even though they lost. But
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
helps reestablish them.
yes, give them a break, I mean, because it's just like if Tyler feels that way about being Tyler the Romeo character, I'm sure other people do too.
they did
And
it with Finn Balor, but like they didn't change his character much. They just had him
Yep.
go back and like get another run at the title,
Yeah, I mean, and NXT is a good spot to do that because it's very underground. It's very much gritty. Like the fan base is the fan base. So, but
I've
let's
said this
move on.
multiple times, but I feel like Dominic would have been better off going to NXT first on his
Good.
own. I feel like he would have learned so much more, so much faster, and so much better. And be like, I feel when Mysterio went to NXT one time with him, like they had that one time, I feel like that fit him so well. Like that it worked so well for Dominic. Like people were actually like, it was so cool to see him there. I feel he would have done perfect over there, and ready to do his thing on the main roster. And then like when Dominic's ready, he comes up to the main roster and do his thing. But yeah, whatever happened. So
Yeah, poor Dom. Tyler, you were gonna say something too, I think.
No, I just think NXT is good, a good
Yep.
place to send them. The only problem I would disagree now, and it's not necessarily a critique, I don't see them as gritty. I mean, compared to the main roster, yes, but if we're going to say black and gold, that's you got to kind of draw a line. I don't see the grittiness.
Well, I mean gritty in the sense of like having fight pit matches.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But I do really like I feel like when they changed they're like a weird flux stage, right? At first, I honestly think the best time for NXT was when they were doing like I'd say like 2017, 2016, I say 2017 on to like 2020, I say like 2020.
I stopped watching around that time. I was watching like when Sasha, they were all still there, all of them.
Yes, yeah, I didn't watch it then. I watched it after
Like the Neville matches, the ladder match, the Bo Dallas,
all that. Got all of them on the map.
That's when I was watching. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens like first came in. That's when I was watching like on, and then like I was like 20. I kind of just like I've always been on and off of NXT.
Well, here's someone who's not on and off. Ronda Rousey. She's backstage and she calls Liv Morgan Hooters Barbie, and she basically says she's the baddest. And Ronda's in action against Natalya. Let's quickly talk about this match. Natty nails a power bomb to Ronda Rousey off the top rope. Natty goes for a sharpshooter, but it's countered. Natty ends up nailing a discus clothesline and gets a 2. And the end comes after Ronda applies an ankle lock and Natty taps out. Ronda gets the win. However, the more important stuff happens after the match as SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan walks out with a bat. And at first I thought there was barbed wire around it, but it wasn't. It was just like I don't know if it was a paint job on it. And she looks at Ronda. Ronda kicks her. The two fight over the bat. Liv swings the bat but misses, and Ronda lands a Piper's Pit. Ronda grabs the bat and tosses Liv over the Timeskeeper area. That's getting a lot of action tonight.
Oh, it is.
Ronda walks off until Liv attacks her again. It's a brawl as they are continuing to be pulled apart by security. However, this Saturday at Extreme Rules, there will be no security to pull these two apart. So let me know what you guys think. I'll throw it to Tyler first. What do you think about, because the match was kind of but going into Extreme Rules, this is a prominent match. Do you like the build-up of who is going to be more extreme here?
The build-up's okay. I'll tell you, I was happy for Liv Morgan to win the SmackDown Women's title, but I think the bloom's off the rose. I think I would just assume see somebody like Rousey take it. I'm just tired of this whole, the tears. I mean, that gets old. I'm happy for you getting the celebration, your moment, and Liv does show me a little more. But if we're gonna go with a star and somebody who can take the title, even if you get tired of that formula, then I'm all about Ronda Rousey. I'm just kind of over the Liv Morgan experiment.
Really? Interesting. All right. Carlos, how about you?
I disagree.
Let's hear it.
I was just glad to see Ronda Rousey get her ass kicked. At first I did feel like they were gonna like Morgan was gonna be like down, like they were gonna like bury her to the dirt at first, like in the beginning of her title reign, like after that whole like thing at SummerSlam that kind of pissed me off the way they did Liv Morgan like that. But now like after that I feel like they're doing better now because I thought it was over when she started getting booed that one SmackDown. But then, like, I guess, like, I'm happy that they're fine. That Triple H took over. Now he's like doing better with her, and she's definitely. I love Liv Morgan. She's after Sasha. It's Liv Morgan. It's my favorite, and I just loved how she did like that senton off the top turnbuckle last week. So that she's getting more extreme. She's not scared of Rousey. Obviously, she just keeps coming at her like she wants more. She's gonna get all of her Extreme Rules.
I go back and forth with it because
But do you guys think it's smart though for Liv Morgan to ask for an Extreme Rules match against Rousey?
Yeah, if she wants to, like, I mean, listen, every time Liv has tried to beat her, there's been some kind of
She just wants to prove herself pretty much that she can hang.
I get that, but I think that, if I'm looking at it realistically with some logic, I think that's a mistake. Here you got a woman that's in MMA, and you want to try to not only it's bad enough when you're trying to outcompete her in a match, but now you add weapons. I just, and it's not a knock on Liv. I just don't see her
But if you're a crazy fuck, think about it, Tyler. If you're a crazy fuck, right, and you see Ronda, attack her ass with a bat before she comes out of the ring. Fuck her ass up.
Well, I see that. I mean, if you're going to attack her, do something from behind, and you'll be more of the heel there. But I guess I'm just over Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
maybe
I feel you.
It's not fair. I know there's going to be a lot of the Liv Morgan.
Remember,
fans.
don't work harder, work smarter.
But I think it's true. My thing with Liv, my thing with Liv is that her character really has been no character for her. It's just been she won the title and it's just like, okay, I'm the title holder. There hasn't really been no significant reason why we want to root for her.
The character for her is like people are saying that she can't hang with like the best, and she's trying to prove that right now.
But that's kind of sad. You're the champion. You can't hang. It's like you're the champion.
I mean, you should be able to hang. That's a
you shouldn't have to prove that.
Opinion. And she's trying to prove them all wrong. And she is, honestly, I think.
I get that. But it's just like when you're a champion and you're trying to prove yourself, you should have already done that. You're the champion. And that's why I was mad with the way she won the title, because the way she won it wasn't a fair 1, 2, 3. She tapped and Ronda got the pin. If she didn't tap, people can't say, oh, well, you only had it because of victory. I think people would be less rooting against her because, listen, you can't root against someone who kind of tapped out. You tapped out.
Yeah, they just called her on it. I mean, she submitted it and the fans turned on her. I mean, that's what I don't get.
But I do like Liv. Dory's a big Liv fan. She likes her better than Alexa Bliss. But I do see Tyler's side of it where being kind of like, she's champion, like put up or shut up at this point. Like we get it, Liv, we get it, live your life, do your thing.
You won the title, we know. Now prove it some more though. I mean, I get it. The spot, jumping
and
off the table.
Maybe to be fair, it's been her her challengers that have been like, I mean, she's fought the same people. She fought Ronda twice, now a third time. She fought Shayna once. I mean, she's only fought Ronda. So maybe because the storyline isn't good, is maybe why we're not really feeling it. Because, I mean, her whole storyline as champion has been, like Carlos said, proving herself. But it's like, you've already done that. You've beaten Ronda twice. You've beaten Shayna. Who else on SmackDown do you need to prove yourself against?
And to me, they're making her out to be more the heel in some regards with the finishes, and I think that's what's hurting her. She's supposed to be this big baby face.
But I think if they were to turn her heel, I think people would like her more.
Oh, they would.
I think. Because then, like, you can't root for someone who tapped out. You tapped out. You'd say that to a heel.
I thought Liv was going to turn heel. honestly. But then, like, I guess they didn't go that route. Like, people start cheering her again.
Mhm.
It's like I feel like wrestling fans these days have very short attention span. I've said it multiple times. It's like it happened to Damian Priest, it happened to Seth Rollins, it happened to a bunch of guys. Like they want them to be champion. I remember like when Seth Rollins was going after the Universal title and Brock Lesnar was holding that shit hostage at home, not showing up to work. Something Roman's doing right now, but let's not talk about that. We the
Yeah,
one.
I love how he's quick to decide what we talk
We
about.
the one. We the
Yeah,
ones. We
you were
still
defending.
we still the ones, but Brock Lesnar was holding that Universal title at home for like almost 300 days, and then like so people wanted Seth to take the belt. He got the belt, he won it, and then like once that whole feud
Carlos,
thing,
land the fucking plane. Yeah,
huh?
less than a minute.
Well, there's the runway.
Wait,
No, we
what?
love you, man. No, we're just giving you our time.
It's a saying because we have less than a minute before we have to send it over to a new episode. So hold that thought, Carlos. That
Okay.
thought.
I keep
Don't.
going off topic. I'm sorry. I have some.
No, keep. We are back. Yeah, Carlos was talking a bit about Liv Morgan. We were talking about our hopes and dreams for Liv Morgan and her rivalry with Ronda and just her career. But let's move on because this moment happens backstage, and this is pretty prevalent to the situation of going on with Bloodline and stuff. So Kevin Owens walking backstage, he sees Sami Zayn, and he says, "You need a new shirt, buddy." And Sami just kind of looks at him, and again, little seeds being planted here. You know,
Correct.
Jay doesn't trust him. He thinks Sammy's out to get the bloodline. Kevin's making passes like, buddy, I'll join you, work with me. So, what do you guys think here? Do you think Sammy, I mean, we all know eventually Sammy is going to, which I can't wait. I hope they have a match at the Rumble. But will he end up joining forces with Kevin Owens again is the question. So I'll throw it to you, Tyler, first.
I think he will. I think, like you said, the seeds are planted. I think knowing their history, whether they were against each other or teaming together, it's evident that we're going to get the Usos taking on Owens and Sami Zayn. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, was that what you were kind of alluding to? Getting that matchup at maybe WrestleMania?
Well,
Between the two teams?
what I'm thinking is because I don't know if that's in my eyes a WrestleMania main event, Sammy versus Reigns. They're booking it well, but I think it could be the Royal Rumble main event. Have it be where it's like, because I told Carlos too, like the buildup is really good if they keep it going. And when Sammy finally does snap, that crowd is gonna pop because we're watching him get used. We as fans know.
Oh yeah, he is getting abused by the bloodline. They don't really want him there, but they're trying to sow those seeds you were talking about. And really, it's like the popular guys having the guy tag along, and they don't want him around.
I've been there. I was there last week. It doesn't feel good. And let me tell you something, motherfuckers. He's coming for your ass. He's coming. I'll
He's
give a
coming
fuck.
with a vengeance.
He's coming. Listen, he's not stupid, okay? I don't think he necessarily started joining out to fuck Roman over. I think he really thought they were friends. But it doesn't take a fucking pencil to realize that Roman Reigns is not friends with Sami Zayn. And I think that when Sammy realizes it, just like we would pop if we saw a bully get beat up, just like we would pop if we see someone stand up for themselves. The crowds are going to go nuts. And I think that would be a good Royal Rumble main event because I want to see, corny to say everyone, Rock versus Reigns. I really want to see that at Mania, but I do definitely want to see Zayn versus Reigns because this rivalry is just really good. So, but anyways, I don't
It's
know
been
what.
great.
Yeah. Where are we now, Carlos? Hi. Go ahead. Tell us your thoughts.
I feel like Sammy's eventually gonna like go with Kevin Owens. I agree with you guys. So I feel like if the Rock versus Roman doesn't work out, like the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens versus the Usos would like save the show for WrestleMania. If the Rock and Roman doesn't work out, like we could find another opponent for Roman. let him fight Cody, let him fight Seth, or maybe have Roman defend defend each title on both nights. Like night 1 he faces Rollins, night 2 he faces Cody, or something else if The Rock doesn't work out, because you never know. I mean, they haven't started a build yet, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But like if the Rock versus Roman doesn't work out, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos would save the show, honestly. And then imagine the Usos.
About, he's like, wait, should I say this or pick my battle?
Yeah, it's you guys have my wheel spinning. It's very interesting just hearing this discussion. I'm like, when do I need to attack, or do I just need to kind of hold?
I love watching Tyler watch. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think that would save WrestleMania? We're talking about it. Do you think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos?
Yeah. Imagine the pop if the Usos lose the titles at WrestleMania night 1, and then maybe if Roman loses one of the belts, one of them at one of the nights, because like let's say he loses one, let's say he loses to, for example, let's say he loses to Rollins at WrestleMania night 1, and because it may be a main event, because Rollins he never main evented WrestleMania before, so and somebody called him out on it last night at WrestleMania, so on WrestleMania on Raw. Somebody called him out on it, like he never main evented WrestleMania before. So maybe this could be a thing for Rollins to main event WrestleMania, and then like he wins it, and then Roman the next night he fights Cody, or it's the other way around. Who knows? And then like Roman comes in not the same. He comes out all like, because he would only have like the Universal title at that time, so he was like coming out fighting for like his life.
I feel like we're in Carlos's WWE 2K22.
No, we are. I mean, we're getting the booking, and it's very compelling.
But I would love to see like Roman defend both titles, like night 1, night 2. Like I would like, because like he's not gonna be 100% in night 2, obviously, because he already had a match in night 1. So, but yeah, we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens. But
I think Roman Reigns.
But
yeah, it's unpopular opinion, but I think he needs to hold on to both titles. I think he. I don't know.
Till after WrestleMania.
Yeah, after WrestleMania. Yeah, I like long reigns, and
I think just one, because technically he's only held the Universal title for he'll be fine if he loses the WWE Championship, but the Universal, because I feel like since he's a part timer right now, we need him for a full-time champion. Give the WWE Championship to Seth, and then if he wants to take it like whatever time he wants, keep the Universal title, come back whenever he wants, and like continue to hold it. Because I do want him to break one of the records too. Like I have like a list in my notes, like top 5 longest world champions, and I have him. He's like in the 5 right now. Then there's like Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, like a couple guys. But I want to see him break at least one of the records. At least one of them.
He's doing amazing. I'm with you, and yeah, I don't have a problem with Seth having one of the belts. What do you think, Ann? I mean, it's all very interesting.
Fucking drop one title because he hasn't fucking been on. There's been no title matches, so I think drop one title, let him keep.
Or even give it to Cody. What do you think about Cody?
Or don't have 2 titles, just have 1 title, but have Roman show up.
What do you think about maybe Cody taking the WWE Championship? I think that's embedded for him to come. Like once, because after that injury that he had. He's definitely going to have a huge push when he comes back.
I think Roman, he needs to take all the titles. I'm just going to come at it as a devil's advocate. Just take the United States title, take the Cruiserweight title. Yeah, just take them all. I mean, the ultimate heat.
Here's my problem, though. Like, we grew up one title champions. I mean, I don't think there's really necessary at this point to have 2. There really isn't a draft. It's only there because it was the Universal title was created like what 7 years ago, so it's not like it's like a.
They still are working on a new title design, so who knows? Maybe they're gonna make it all into one. They're still working.
That's what I'm hoping. If they're gonna do it, make it into one title, have there be one challenger.
So what you guys are saying is it gets confusing with the 2 titles. You've got to at least.
I just don't think.
I just want a full-time champion. That's pretty much what I want. I
also. If you're gonna it's just, to me, it's like, why do you need 2 belts? You're the only champion. Like, you're the undisputed champion. Like, you don't need, maybe separate the belts when he loses them, but like, what's the deal? Like, everybody that fights him is gonna compete for 2 titles. Okay, then what? It's like
Roman won both belts at WrestleMania, and he's only been on Raw twice. Like, he has the Raw title too. I'll be like, I love Roman, but show up to work. Come on.
No, he's smart. He's taking his paycheck and he's going to be home.
I mean, he has
and then
like
he'll
5
come back
kids
and fight
too.
when he needs to.
He does have like
That-
5 kids. Yeah, he needs like his time with his children and
exactly. And he's a family man. See what I love.
it's like I'm on both sides. I understand both sides on him.
Yeah, everybody hates on Brock Lesnar, but here's the deal: if I'm a wrestler, sure, I appreciate the full-time schedule. Those guys working their tails off, and women. But if I've got the opportunity to take such and such dates and be home, spend time with my family, and be a world champion, be a top guy, then I'm not going to be complaining. I'll just be honest. I'm going to come at it from a different, and at least look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, 100%. No,
like I said before, think work smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
you said it.
Let's talk about some good workers. Imperium come out to the ring, and they trash the Brawling Brutes, and they say that this is what a champion looks like, talking about Gunther. And Gunther says, next week, I'm going to beat Sheamus and break his spirit once and for all. The next night, Imperium will then how do you say ability? How do you say this word?
I'm not sure.
Ability, basically destroy.
I like the way you said it.
Yeah. And then Sheamus walks out, and Sheamus says, Ridge and Butch are stuck in Florida, but that's all right. I'm more than happy kicking your heads off your shoulders alone. Sheamus,
I think that was just an excuse. I feel like they were there. Maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe they just want to have Sheamus come out on his own.
But I do think they weren't there, though, because remember, there was that huge Hurricane Irene that they've been it's been huge. They've hit Disney World.
Yeah, it's affected Florida.
They did the American Red Cross thing too on Raw and SmackDown for it, because it's been a like literally homes are like flooded, like it's bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's truly
But
sad.
they could have been there. Maybe they just wanted Sheamus to go on his own, but he goes out on his own, but he's not on his own because he has a shillelagh with him, and he ends up dropping most of the Imperium members, but Imperium is 3 against 1, and they end up attacking, and Gunther nails a big boot, and he chops Sheamus hard in the corner. Gunther nails a power bomb, and then Imperium leaves. But Sheamus is not done. He picks up the microphone and he says, "Is that all you've got?" And then Kaiser and Fabian Eichner, or not Fabian Eichner, what do they call him now? Giovanni.
They call him Vinci, yeah, something like that.
He attacks Sheamus some more, and then Gunther nailed Sheamus with Sheamus's own shillelagh. And these guys are going to have a good old-fashioned brawl at Extreme Rules. What do you think about Imperium being dominant over Sheamus? I mean, it's not unrealistic, 1 against 3, but also they're promoting their match for SmackDown this Friday for the Intercontinental title. I guess my question will be thrown to you, Carlos. Do you think Gunther is going to retain, or do you think Sheamus is going to get the surprise victory here?
I think Gunther's going to retain. He's doing like his best work right now as well. So no, I don't see Gunther losing.
He just annihilated this. They took notice on Sheamus's ass on the last round.
Oh, they did, man. Imperium is for real, and I hate to agree with Carlos. I'm going to make this a running gag that Gunther has to retain. As much as I like Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes, and we're seeing shades of the old Pete Dunne come back, or Butch, excuse me, his character now, and with Rich Holland, a lot of talent. I just like this Imperium group, and I like the ring general. I can't say it in that
like,
termination. There you go.
Do you still like Rich Holland after what he did to Big E?
Well, I mean, to me, there's also 2 sides to that. I love Big E.
Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
No, you're okay. Yeah, you're awesome. I hate it for Big E, but I'm not going to completely blame Rich Holland. Mistakes happen. That may be controversial, but I'm just going with it.
I mean, we could also blame Jimmy Uso for all of the car accidents and with the speed pedometer being.
Where's Carlos? He's a little bit.
Where's Carlos? Where is he? Where'd he go?
I hear you.
Okay, so we then get a little promotion for Antonio Inoki. Rest in peace. He passed away. Well, he was born.
Who is that? I never heard of him.
He's the founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, Antonio Inoki.
Yep, he's a very popular, one of the most prominent Japanese wrestlers of all time. He fought guys like Sting, Ric Flair.
Oh shit!
So many people. And he was the first ever Japanese WWE champion. They never talked about it until
Like he
now.
won the
Yeah,
WWF
they had a
champion or
special
WWE
segment.
champion?
Yeah,
He
he
won
beat
the
Bob
WWE
Backlund.
title. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Okay.
But they never really talked about it because
I
he
heard
was a
they said that
competitor.
he was like in UFC or something or MMA.
Well,
Some
he
shit.
did do some stuff in MMA, kind of with Muhammad Ali, two boxers, and
Yep.
that
He
was a
fought
big deal.
Muhammad Ali. Yep.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
So rest in peace. I always wondered why Vince never really, I understand like competitors, but I mean, Eric Bischoff was a huge competitor. He's in the Hall of Fame. Like, I mean, you can just say this guy was a former champion. It's a big
Maybe
deal.
Vince has something against Japanese wrestlers because you don't see really any Japanese wrestlers in WWE. Like
Well,
look
they
what
always have very
look what they did to
prominent
Shinsuke.
characters.
They killed Shinsuke. Like
Yeah.
Shinsuke should have beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34, I think it was, but no, I don't know.
I don't know. That's always been the mystery why he
Yeah.
didn't, how he did the things he did.
Well, here's a mystery. Shotzi is taking on Bayley. Kai and Io Sky, of course, weren't available because same thing supposedly in Florida. They were,
They
targeted.
brought back the Tank.
Hurricane. What's that?
They brought back the Tank.
Oh, I
Shotzi.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, no, they brought
Shotzi
back.
got fucked up at Money in the Bank, man. I'm surprised she's even alive to fucking
Yeah,
come back.
yeah, the
Poor
bombs, man.
Shotzi.
Not really a
Botchy.
fan. I'm not really a fan of her at all. I don't know.
That's what I'm gonna call her, Botchzy. Botchzy.
Oh,
And
my
after all
goodness.
that shit, that she
Wait a
talked
minute,
to
are
Liv
you
Morgan.
mistaking that for the AEW boxers?
I call Dana Brooke Dana Botch. I love that. Dana Botch.
So that's the new gimmicks.
That's the new gimmick, Dana Box. So here's Bayley versus
Where's the 24/7 title?
And thank God it's gone. Bayley nails an arm drag and a kick to the face of Shotzi. Shotzi with a senton to the back of Bayley. Shotzi with a DDT to Bayley on the apron and then a suplex into the corner. However, Bayley was able to get the advantage and nail a rose plant and gets the 3 count after the match. Again, a lot of stuff happens after these matches that are more important than the actual match, it seems. Bayley nails a second rose plant to Shotzi. Bayley grabs a ladder and puts Shotzi inside of it. But Raw Women's Champion, the EST, Bianca Belair, runs out. Bayley attacks Bianca from behind, and then Bianca goes for a KOD to Bayley, but Bayley escapes. The two of them will face each other in the first ever one-on-one females ladder match. Extreme Rules this Saturday. What'd you think about that? I'll throw it to Tyler first. What'd you think about Bayley and Shotzi and Bayley being able to escape the KOD?
I like it. I think if she's not able to escape the KOD, I'll just go to that first from Bianca.
Yeah.
It shows you that she's never going to be able to get an advantage. So to me, you've got to do that to make it different. And I think Shotzi is good, but I don't know how good. I'm starting to question that. But Bayley's going to make everybody look great because she's that talented, that skilled. So it was a fine match. I'm not going to say it was great, but what we got at the end, you're so right, and often was better than some of the matches.
Bayley, man. Listen, Bianca better hold on to that Raw Women's title. How about you, Carlos? What do you think?
What are we talking about? I'm so sorry. I got
Carlos is
That's
trying to
perfect.
find his he's trying to get his
it was Shotzi versus
Bayley. Carlos is trying to get prepared for when we have our debate against Jimmy Uso to defend the multiple.
Yeah, I know.
And has a DUI. So we're talking about Shotzi versus Bayley and how Bayley was able to escape the KOD from Bianca Belair.
I was surprised that Bianca was even there. Yeah, like, she just ran out. I wasn't expecting her. I mean, we saw Raw Superstars earlier in the show, but like I wasn't expecting her to be there. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the match, and then like the way that she escaped. Like she's like they don't want to spoil anything. Pretty much, they want to like save all that stuff for Extreme Rules.
Those are the best. Don't let them touch until the pay-per-view. That's what I always say. Don't let them do it.
It builds anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Speaking of anticipation, the Maximum Male models have been backstage working on this Canadian record of the longest pose. And Max has enough. He ends up punching one of the models, and he says, "This has."
That was funny, honestly.
It was. He says, "This has never been for me." And he says I'm done, and he leaves. So it looks like Max Dupree again walks away from the Maximum
He's
Male.
had enough.
I just want to see Maxine more on my TV.
I
That's
do.
all.
Yeah, Maxine, I'm a big fan.
Come on.
I died laughing when he came out of nowhere and like I think it was a headbutt.
A headbutt. Yep.
He
Yep.
headbutted. He headbutt. I started laughing so hard because that just came out of nowhere. Like he just, but he's definitely. It seems like he's going back towards this like LA Knight gimmick.
Yeah, I've got one word, Carlos and Ant. Yeah, I can't do it as good as he can, but that's one of the big words, LA Knight, with what he says in his promos.
Yeah. I don't remember, but yes.
I don't either. I was trying to put that in there.
So we're at our main event. Before we talk about our main event, let's talk about next week on SmackDown. Here are some stuff that's happening. Ricochet is taking on Solo Sikoa in a one-on-one match. The Intercontinental Champion Gunther will be defending against Sheamus. And finally, Roman Reigns and Logan Paul are going to come face to face before their big match at Crown Jewel. What's going to happen? Find out this Friday on SmackDown.
I'm really surprised why they announced this match so early on.
I agree. Like they should have had it for Extreme Rules if they're going to promote it this early. What's the point?
Yeah,
but it's for a big. It's only for the Prince of Saudi or the King of Saudi Arabia. It's not like anyone's dying to see Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns.
They're all winner or loser. They're all gonna get like big paychecks for that match.
Yeah,
huge.
Because that's who we want. He wanted fucking. Didn't he want like Yokozuna in a match at one point when they first went? Like he thought these people were alive and like fucking wanted all these people in a match.
I heard. Yeah, he wanted Yoko.
Yeah, I want Yoko too, but he's gone. Sorry.
I know that's the thing. I guess he didn't realize, to your point, that he passed.
So yeah,
they don't keep up with the current product. Pretty much.
They don't keep up with much. It seems like.
But it's crazy because like Saudi Arabia, like places like that, it's like so modern, but like they don't keep up with like wrestling.
Well, there's also a lot of cultural differences and like rules and restrictions and like
is that why like they make the ladies like wear like something covering their whole like body?
Yeah, that's part of their religion.
Culture.
Yeah, and their culture and religion, and they're only supposed to see their face.
Wow, that's weird.
What
that's
the
different.
Fuck is this? Oh, okay, that was a little weird noise. No, I have Facebook open as I'm doing this, and I hear a noise, and I'm like, "What is that?"
It's your notifications.
As he's talking about, I'm not going to go there. So let's keep moving. So, Anthrax. I'm fucking evil. Okay, so here's our main event: Austin Theory and Alpha Academy taking on Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Johnny Gargano. And this is a pretty decent match. I don't have a lot of notes here for this one. I kind of came towards the end of it. Gargano nails a kick to Austin Theory. Kevin Owens nails a cannonball onto Alpha Academy outside. And the ending comes after Drew nails a claymore to Austin Theory. And after the match, Drew McIntyre lays into Austin Theory with that leather strap. I think he was preparing for Karrion Kross for this Saturday Extreme Rules. So, Carlos, what did you think about Drew McIntyre and this 6-man match, and then also Drew McIntyre just taking liberties and attacking Austin Theory after that match with the strap?
Yeah, the 6-man tag match was good. I think they all had good chemistry together. And the aftermath was pretty crazy too.
Yep. The strap. How about you, Ty? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was a good match. Also, I like the dynamics between Austin Theory and Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre and Austin Theory. I want to see both these feuds keep going in some shape or form. And Johnny Gargano, what can you say? I mean, I'm a big fan since the NXT days, and I love that he's got this opportunity. And I'm back.
A huge Johnny Gargano fan. I'm so glad to see him too.
It's good to see the Rebel Heart back.
I knew it. Sorry.
Sing it.
Beautiful. So before we wrap up SmackDown, I'd like to get your final favorite moment of the night. I'll throw it to you, Tyler. What was your favorite moment of this week's episode of SmackDown?
Seeing Ronda Rousey take it to Liv Morgan just because Carlos will be mad. And,
okay.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do. No, and of course the main event we just talked about had to be one of my favorites. L.A. Knight possibly coming back. I'll give it to a segment. That was neat, and there was some good stuff. But I like Imperium. I like the whole Sheamus. So that was some of my highlights.
I like it all. I like it. I love it. I want some
Some
more
more
of
of
it.
it.
Come on. All right, Carlos, how about you, sir? What was your favorite moment of the night?
I enjoyed the Liv Morgan segment with Ronda Rousey, her attacking Ronda, and then like they having to break them up and everything. I
That
enjoyed
was
that.
good. That was intense. For me, this is gonna be really random. For me, I like corn. No. Um, for me, I really like the Karrion Kross segment because I'm still thinking about what's in the cards. I know it's probably just the saying, doesn't mean anything, but Karrion Kross definitely keeping my mind interested. So before we go, let's just do some little I guess housework is what I want to call it. We have a lot coming up and coming your way. We have so this episode is going to be dropped. It's going to be Wednesday by the time this episode comes out. So great. On either I think Thursday or Friday, one of those days we'll have Raw out. So be prepared for that. And then Friday, or actually Saturday morning, our Extreme Rules 2022 prediction video will drop. And then we have God, it's a busy week, guys.
Oh, it's a
Trying to
very
keep
busy
up.
week.
Yeah, so Extreme Rules is a Saturday. Our prediction video will drop in the morning, and then we will obviously do an Extreme Rules recap next week. But what's something important to look out for, we have our special Halloween edition of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are going to be covering everything Halloween that took place in WWE, possibly WCW. Get ready to take out those goblins, ghouls, ghosts, Michael
Very
Myers.
scary.
Imagine Paul Heyman naked, and then you will get the idea of being scared. So also before we go, I have a special treat. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Something is going to happen that you will never see coming, is what I'm going to say. Kind of like the promo for this or SummerSlam. Special trick or treat. It's a treat. It could be a trick to some people, but it could be a treat to others. So big surprise coming. That Halloween episode will be dropped on Halloween. You'll be able to check it out on October 31st.
I'm scared. I don't know.
I think I scared everybody. Put your children away. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because you're one of everybody in here. You don't have to come and
Pretty
confess.
much everybody.
Everybody. All right. So Tyler, before we go, because you also are featured on many other things, quickly give us a rundown on where people can find you if they're not listening to you on here.
You can find me on the Rewind Wrestling Radio podcast on Back When with Danny and Tyler, Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, Wrestle Buddy, Geek Buddy, both those websites, and right here, the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast. Normally, I'm on the Attitude Years, but hey, every now and then I get to show up on Raw or SmackDown and annoy these guys, so it's great to be here. Thank you, gentlemen.
Man, it's great to be annoyed. And Carlos is here every week. He's here all week.
I couldn't help myself. I mean, that's what it's about.
Tyler, now I don't want to. So you're doing a watch, like you're doing some sort of series on scary movies or something? I don't want to give anything away. What's going on?
Yeah. Speaking of teases, I am doing one that'll be dropping, I think, on Thursdays. Yeah, I believe so. There's so much, gosh, we're having to keep up with it. But yeah, it'll drop on Thursdays. But it's a special feature on horror movies, so look out for that. I can, speaking of scary, just seeing my face is enough. But there you go.
Can you don't tell us what movie it is, but can you give us like a little like a hint for people if they don't don't tell us the movie, but give us a little hint.
Well, it's kind of hard to even drop the hint because they'll know. But
I got a hint. I got a hint.
Okay, you're gonna help me out.
Ready? A mask.
Yeah,
Boom.
There you go. It'll narrow it down, will it not?
A mask.
There's your clue.
There's your clue. A mask is in the movie at some point. So thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Also follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. And that's where I am. And that's where Carlos is. And that's where Tyler is. And that's where all your cool people are. So find us. Give us a little like and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna let Tyler go watch this movie that includes a mask. Carlos is gonna be keeping it cool, making sure everything is safe and good down where he is, and I'm gonna be keeping it cool. And I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Maybe doing something fun. Who knows? So yes, be safe, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, y'all, and we
Bye,
will be
guys.
back soon. Bye.
See ya.